Manual labor is difficult, especially when you're just starting out in the field. There are certain things that one only learns with patience and experience. And while you can't rush that process, you can very well learn tips and tricks that will make your transition into a pro electrician easier. Here's a list of all the electrician hacks electricians need to know. Number 13. Itch prevention. Over time, you will figure out what works best for your skin whilst working with dust, be it regular or tiny foreign particles. But it's safe to say that these activities, even if your skin isn't inherently sensitive, can cause really bad itching and even rashes, even with your eyes, nose, and mouth covered. One thing that is proven to work for many is baby powder or cornstarch. Coat your exposed skin in a layer of product around your collar and ears and to where your sleeves end. This will keep the insulation from settling directly on your skin and, as such, will prevent irritation. Number 12. Using REMODEL electrical boxes. REMODEL electrical boxes, or cut-in boxes as they're commonly called, are an electrician's best friend. If you need to install one, it needs to be after the wall or ceiling has been put in, and installing it is as easy as they come. Some have flip-up ears or bending tabs so your freshly installed drywall and the package itself aren't ruined. To install, you simply follow a series of quick steps, beginning with cutting a hole the correct size to fit it in the framing stably. Then you slide in the box and tighten the screws. Then you pull the ears or tabs to the drywall ceiling. Number 11. Upgrade your circuit breakers. Consistent tripping of circuit breakers is actually very common if the circuit breaker itself is very old. This is often because the older circuit breakers don't possess the ability to handle high voltage or HVAC systems. The best thing to do in this particular scenario is to upgrade the circuit breaker itself with one that is better suited to handle the load. That will save your client the stress of getting it fixed every time it acts up again. Not to mention, it may even save lives. Number 10. Using multiple switches with one hot wire. A trick to keep in your bag is learning how to make your wire box less messy and more aesthetically pleasing by changing up your wiring system. You avoid multiple splices and pigtails by leaving your hot wire extra long instead of creating a separate pigtail at each turn. Then, when you need to connect switches, you use a wire stripper to score your wires, leaving a 3/4 inch bare wire and forcing the insulation away. You will then wrap the first switch's core 3/4 of the way and repeat it with every intermediate switch. Finally, you attach the final switch in the same way as with every other switch by looping the wire clockwise around the screw. Number 9. Potatoes are an electrician's friend. You know how difficult it can be to remove a bulb from its holder if the bulb is broken. The shards are sharp and pointy, and it's very easy to shock and injure yourself. So to act on this hack, you cut a potato in half and then press the potato into the broken shards. You'll need to press it in until the shards are fitted into the potato so that you can then rotate to spin the bulb out of its holder. Be sure to turn the power source off. Number 8. Using the radio. Sometimes it's hard to know which circuits are functional and which aren't when you're working with a large amount. A neat and handy trick is to easily segregate your working circuits from your non-functional ones is by keeping a radio with you. Yes, a radio. We're sure that you can see where this is going. A radio will pick up feedback and you can easily tell which unlabeled circuits aren't working. This can help you avoid shutting items down unnecessarily. Number 7. Replacing smoke detectors. This one's easy. When it's time to change those smoke detectors, be sure you're using the same type and harness if possible, which will make changing your client's smoke detectors so much easier. Number 6. Keep stud finders with you. Learning on the job as an electrician is infinitely easier when you know how to use household items to your advantage. Using a stud finder to detect metals in your buried wires can help you avoid cutting patches, and you will also be able to tell exactly where a wire is situated. Number 5. Alternatively, keep strong magnets with you. An average house has a whole wiring system behind its walls and ceilings. An electrician may need to trace old wires and only have one small hole in the drywall to work with. This can make lining up everything from both sides a nightmare. Of course, you could use the old-fashioned yet effective method of punching strategic holes in walls and drawing lines as a guide, but a non-invasive method involves using a strong magnet. You can carry one and use it to detect ferrous metal compounds through wood and tiles. Using these magnets can let you do the following. 1. Look for studs. If you've been working as an electrician for a while now, you may be aware that stud finders are famously hard on batteries. They have a reputation of bailing out when you need them most, leaving you high and dry. To use your magnet as a stud finder on those dark days, just tie a lightweight piece of string to your magnet and dangle it beside the wall you're inspecting. In some cases, a strong magnet even works better than a stud finder. 2. Another thing your strong magnet can be useful for is a fishing guide. If you're aimlessly fishing down the back side of a wall, you can use the magnet in your box opening to guide the line down. This, combined with a heavy nut trick to keep the string being pulled directly downward, is sure to guarantee you a clean result. And number 3. Retrieving items. As an electrician, you work with a lot of tiny-sized metallic objects and small spaces. It's an inevitability when you manage to lose some objects in unreachable places. Well, you can just use your handy magnet on a string trick or a slender stick to pull the loose object back out and back to you. Number 4. Use jack chains instead of strings. The string, although a handy and easy to work with tool, often falls short when it comes to reliability. The soft fibers in the woven thread can often cling to and catch on wood and rough insulation. This is not to say that the string is not an incredibly helpful and essential tool, but sometimes an alternative like jack chains can make your work much easier. For instances where you need to exert a little force, you can use the jack chain, as its weight will help it stay down and it won't let it catch on obstacles at all. The sturdiness also means that you can yank on it a little and it won't risk your entire connection. Number 3. Velcro tester holster. Of course, as an electrician, you may prefer your own space while working. That's completely fine, but for jobs that require a bit more moving around, perhaps up and down a ladder, you may find yourself wishing for an extra set of hands. Multiple effective hacks have been proposed for electricians who prefer to work alone on the job whilst not risking their efficiency. Some of these tips are using tape or mounting nails to have devices and tools handy just an arm away. But this hack involves sewing patches of Velcro on your jacket sleeves and gluing the other sides on your trusty devices and tools. You can then have your hands free when you need them while still having access to all your tools. Number 2. Unsheath before boxing. A popular practice in the electrician world is not stripping your wires before inserting them in the box knockouts. This is especially counterproductive, as this only makes your job harder in the long run and you're setting yourself up for trouble later down the switch's future. Efficiency-wise, this is of course the optimal course of action, but you will need to strip your wires before inserting them in the box knockouts. Always measure carefully, since you do need at least 1/4 of an inch of sheathing still in the box. Remember to always leave yourself extra slack, so it's easier to go back and fix mistakes without having to redo the entire project. And number 1. Using string to cut out PVC in tight spaces. As we mentioned, being an electrician means you're constantly working in constrictive and tight spaces, and sometimes unpredictable ditches. In those times, you may face many common struggles that come with trying to fit into a small space. One of them is trying to cut a PVC pipe when your handsaw just can't reach. Well, this is easily fixable, fortunately enough, using a length of string. You may loop the string around the pipe and start pulling at the strings in an quote-unquote sawing motion. If you do this fast enough, the delicious combination of pressure, friction, and heat will cause the pipe to cut in the intended manner. If you're already an electrician running your own business or just about to start and grow your own electrical business, you must learn the 4 critical things electrical business owners wished they had learned before starting an electrical business, so you don't make the same mistakes. Electrician Accelerator has put together a free training video that you can watch right now that will show you exactly how to start, grow, and build your electrical business the right way so you can consistently guarantee profitable work, free up your time, all whilst reducing stress levels and allowing you to have sustainable and more profitable business that works for you. In this free training video, you'll also learn how to generate a steady stream of jobs on demand and with predictability month after month in your local area without relying on word of mouth and referrals, how to stop competing on price with other electricians and escape your competition, how to convert at least 90% of your quotes and estimates into sales, and how to command premium prices and attract high-quality customers that will be happy to pay more. Click on the link in the description below the video. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.